Welcome to GTB TV. I'm talking to David Noguer of Juniper. David, earlier today, the company gave a fascinating presentation about how to make services profitable. Give us some of the highlights of what that was about.
Exactly. So I believe this is a fascinating time now for this our industry. So what we see is that the operators have been operating their networks in the last maybe 30 years in a very similar way. It didn't change too much. But the way their subscribers or their customers have been using it is evolved enormously. So we see in one way, for example, how the traffic is growing in their networks rapidly, tenfold growth every year. And at the same time, we see that their revenue or average revenue per user yearly, it's decreasing or it's flat in some areas. So this is a difficult model of operation for them and provides a lot of thought in here. So basically, where is this revenue going? How the subscribers are making use of these communications? So if we look at a little bit more detail, we will see that there are the over-the-top players. So if in the past, two operators were competing for this subscriber, today we see that those operators are still there, but now there are other competitors in different areas that they are the over-the-top players, offering voice, offering video, offering any over-the-top service to them. So this is basically the new model that they have to operate. So they are in crossroads. How can they innovate in order to attract more interest of their users? How can become more differentiated in this space? How can they provide something that is really valuable?
And how are you helping them do that?
So yeah, in this area, probably this is something that it will not change overnight. We all know that. But the first thing is to go back and look inside each service provider and see what are the most valuable assets they have. So they have some of them, plenty of them that are really unique in the industry and no one else can do or can develop them quickly. So we see that one of them that they've been playing a lot with is just the connectivity. And connectivity has been basically the way they've been generating revenues. But there are others, and connectivity is just one of them. So we see others like, I don't know, so billing, for example. A service provider can bill down to the second or down to the byte, for example. And they do that once a month, but they don't use it too often. So this could be an asset that they can monetize together with the over-the-tops to build their services, for example. They have the identity of the subscriber, so they know who we are, where we sit, which devices we're using, if we have this set-top box. And this is also very valuable. They also know the connectivity that we have, the speeds, for example, not the one that we provide or that we are contracting, but they know how much or what is the maximum speed they could let us using. But no one else knows this information. They can provide security, for example, from the network. They secure their services, but they could provide that as a service as well. We see policy and control. And finally, basically what we see is that they collect a lot of data or analytics that it's in there. Someone else could be monetizing and no one else, and they're not doing it. So there's plenty of room to start innovating, combining these elements.
So really you're asking them to think out of the box effectively? Absolutely.
So what we are asking them is to look at these assets that they've been there for many years and kind of untouched, and they've been basically providing this connectivity with the best effort service to the over-the-tops and see if there is value for them to start packaging it in a way that some of the over-the-tops may find value, or also some residential or enterprise may find value on here. So we're talking about services that are easier to sell or highly demanded. And unfortunately, there'll be no single one killer application that sets all or that solves all the problems there. So there'll be plenty of them, and they'll be dedicated to communities. So, for example, to the health industry or the automotive industry, or to the online gaming, etc. So things like, machine to machine, it's a broad wall that it's combining many elements. So there's security, there's location-based services, there might be billing. So things that start combining on top of this connectivity. That connectivity at the end of the day, for example, for machine to machine, this will be in some cases, it's not a lot of traffic, and there is not a lot of revenue to be made only if you look at the connectivity. But if an operator is managing this at the end-to-end as an environment, it provides a portal, specific build for the application. So we see here a lot of value, for example. So really, we are offering them the possibility of looking at all these different assets, and we are providing an open way for them to interact with that. So meaning that by the use of software and SDKs, software development kits that they can offer to third parties, they can start building on top of their network real valuable assets. And this network will be presented differently to each community. So if you are an insurance company, the type of things you want to see from the network are some particular things. Maybe you want to know how your customers that are how they are driving their cars in order to prepare the next bill and see if maybe they are very safe drivers and you're still charging them a premium fee. So there are things that that they can start interacting. So how Juniper is offering this? So first of all, we create open systems that allow third-party innovation in there. We give them the SDKs, so the operator itself can start building things on top of the infrastructure that we're providing. Quite a standard infrastructure that they can start personalizing it. And what we are also providing them is via tools like SDN, that it provides ways that external companies from the network can start getting the performance and the behavior of the network that is desired by the application. So in a way, we are offering them the possibility to get the network as a service and resulting of better experiences with their applications and over-the-top content.
Well, I'm sure any carrier that can increase its revenue streams will be very glad to talk to you. But in the meantime, thanks for talking to us today.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I would like to encourage our customer carriers, a new initiative that we are doing. So we are doing what we call the Juniper Innovation Days. And Juniper Innovation Days we're running with our customers. And those customers will see how this innovation or these new innovative services will translate into their network. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.